Years ago, your independence wasn't allowed. Only good for cooking and cleaning up the house. Only known for being a housewife wearing gowns. Went from dependent to the most independent girl around. You discipline with your diligence, I respect that. Equal rights for the sexes, we all accept that. Random guys with her number, she might expect that. But if he's not on this grind, she might reject that. It takes a boss to date a boss lady. Got what it takes to date a boss baby. Yeah, grown sexy, that's a boss lady. Know how to carry yourself, you're a boss lady.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to Boss Lady News. You know you can catch me every Friday at 6 p.m. Also feel free to go to the website. I want to make sure I give a shout out to everyone that's going to be on the show today. Miss Taylor Andre is going to be bringing us the news. Ailton, some of you know of him, he's a handsome model throughout the New England area, but we're going to find out more about him. We have Miss Marie Firmin that's going to be talking to us about some banking and cooperative banking between us. With no further ado, let's make sure we get right into some news. Miss Taylor Andre, why don't you come on out here? How are you?
Hi. Excited
to be talking with you as usual.
I love it.
We've got some awesome topics for the people today. And if you guys don't know, how can they reach you?
Taylor Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7, Big City 101.3 FM, TaylorAndre.com, TaylorAndre.com.
Absolutely. So what do you have for me?
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot going on.
A lot going on.
And there's always a lot going on.
Always.
Okay.
Shout out to Hip Hop for Flint. They have 32 cities across the nation, not only here in the United States, also in Africa, in Europe. They're doing hip hop, local artists, professional talent to raise $80,000.
Wow.
So they can give the families filtration systems, not bottles of water, but filtration systems for the whole house that the families can bathe with, the families can drink with and cook with. And you would think the government would have thought about this, like.
Absolutely. And speaking of Flint, I mean, I had been wondering what was going on because, yes, we sent a bunch of water, people got involved, the politics got involved, and I still feel like there's no answer as to what's going to happen because if they've done this in Flint, Michigan, to a whole community of people, how do we know that it's not happening in other areas? And I found out that some of the bottled water had lead in it.
Okay, so this is a lot. All of your points are true. So the first point is, yes, right now they're going through congressional hearings and they're being asked the tough questions, like when did you know what you knew and when did you find out, when were the emails passed? And coming to find out, some people knew more than they were led on to believe.
Wow.
So far we know that 10 people have died. Who's gonna account for that? We don't know. And as far as the lead is concerned, in the bottled water, there wasn't really lead in the bottled water. When bottled water heats up, that plastic heats up, it's BPs that are coming out. And that is what, as well as E. coli. People got sick from E. coli. You would think that there's a lot, Brit. We can do a whole hour on water. And all the pipes and the lead in the system, I remember about 3 shows ago, we were talking about 10 years ago here in Massachusetts. We have lead in our pipes. There are people, adults, that are now still getting money and funded because when they were children, they were poisoned with lead poisoning here in Massachusetts. It's a problem across our entire nation.
Should we, families, should we, adults, should the children, should we know how to actually test our water? Is that something we should start doing within the households?
Yes, some people learned how to do it at the hiphopforflint.com that took place a few weeks ago.
Okay.
They were able to learn how to test their waters, what kits they can get to test their waters, and I would absolutely suggest any and all families to go out and get a filtration system because we still have fluoride in our water. Who knows why, even though it's a poison, it's on the America's poison list, like a hotline list. But yes.
Okay, wow. Well, here in the United States, we did our first voter, our primaries.
Yes.
And we know that there's, the next vote is coming up. That's going to be in November. And I just got a chance to speak with Miss Ayanna Presley. She was over at the Ferdinand Building. I refuse to call it the other name because I know it as the Ferdinand Building. But they just had a women's event in the morning, and she had mentioned that there's actually going to be 11 days of voting here in Massachusetts now, where instead of you, because what I had been asking Miss Ayanna Presley was City Council at large, is there an early voter registration opportunity for people where if you can't make it on one day to vote because of work not allowing it or whatever the situation may be, is there another opportunity? Previously, there was not. Starting this year, November, there are going to be 11 days for people to be able to go and vote. I suggest within this time right now until then, you find out if you're a registered voter, number one. If you're not, make sure you're a registered voter. And it's about time that we do start looking into who are these people. And I know I was with you, and you were telling me a little bit more about one particular person that's running for presidency. I'm not going to bring up his name, but it's interesting how you're choosing to vote and why you're choosing to vote for this particular person.
You want to talk about that?
I don't know. I hate politics.
We have limited time. You sure you want to talk about that?
So for the people who are not interested in politics,
yes,
what would you say to them?
I would say we need you to vote. We need you to vote. I don't care if you write in your own name. Your number needs to be accounted for, that you got out and exercised your right to vote, no matter who you vote for. So even though I have a candidate that I love, that I trust, that I believe in, I need for you to, even if you don't believe in anybody, you believe in yourself, write that person in.
Absolutely.
Write Taylor Andre in, it's okay.
I forget where I was, and I saw this huge poster of like a little kid that was running for president. And I say, 100% we should be encouraging our children to look up to that being a potential opportunity for them. We're going to cut to a brief PSA in a minute, but we're going to be coming back with you a little bit later on, and we're going to talk a little bit more about some other topics. Do you happen to know, or can we give them a sneak peek of what some of those other topics will be?
No.
No? They have to wait, right?
Of course.
So what can people tune into and listen to when they, from 5 to 7, go on to Big City 101.3 and hear you? What are they going to be listening to?
Politics, news, conspiracies. Wake up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to the universal consciousness. Let's be realistic. No one's waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to listen to me. So you can head over to mixcloud.com, search TAYLAANDRE. Over 450 shows are pre-recorded, archived just for you. And we started YouTubing recently.
Love it.
And
Yes.
I don't look this good in the morning, I promise. I actually get dressed after the show, but I'm in there, sweatpants, hair tie, chilling with no makeup on, and they love it. And we enjoy it, we have fun, and
people can call in.
yeah, absolutely.
And be able to ask questions.
282-0062. I enjoy. We just got recently. We got a hater.
Ooh.
Yeah, he calls in, but he hates the show. And I love it. The listeners love it.
We're ready. I think all of New England is ready for the female Howard Stern. Not to compare you, but in terms of politics and more, make sure you're tuning into Taylor Andre's Wake Up with Taylor Andre show, okay? We are going to have her back in just a moment, but we're going to cut to a brief PSA, and when we come back, you all are going to get a chance to meet Mr. Ailton. We'll be right back. Like I said, we're going to get a chance now to speak with Ailton. I'm going to have him introduce himself to you all. Why don't you come on out here? How are you? Oh, I've got to give a wonderful hug.
How's everything?
Have a seat. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Thanks for inviting. It's been a
So
while.
I'm going to let you go ahead and first introduce yourself, full name, and what it is that you do.
So my name's Ailton Carvalho, and I like to call myself like a creative entrepreneur because I do so much.
I know.
So first things first, my passion is in fashion. That's my thing. So the whole modeling thing, that was my first venture. I also love, just business, just helping people motivation. So my mission is almost like to help motivate and inspire individuals to become the best possible version of themselves. So, one day I see myself being a motivational speaker. And, videography, just a bunch. I just love creating. So that's why I get that title, creative entrepreneur.
So I always ask people, especially when they've come on the show for the first time, are you originally from Boston?
Yes,
You
born
are.
and raised.
Born and raised. What part?
Dorchester.
Okay.
My whole life.
Okay.
I grew up in Columbia Road, and now I'm like right by Ashmont, so like Dorchester, right off Dorchester Ave. So
Dorchester, I
tell people,
love it.
yeah.
Okay. And what, as a young person, did you think that, one day I'm going to do modeling?
No.
Because I know, we dress up our little boys and our little girls, and it's like, oh, you're so gorgeous. This is what you're going to do. Was that kind of the route that led you into it?
No, it's funny. It's funny because I'll meet people that I went to like elementary school with, and I was the nerd in the class, the big glasses, the braces and everything, and they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah. So like growing up, I was shy, I had no confidence, and I didn't know what I was gonna do or what direction my life would take me. But I think around like middle school, high school is when fashion became my thing. I just loved, that's when I started dressing myself. I think that's where you learn the ins and outs of style, of layering, what to put on, and how you can feel with an outfit. And I think it started there. But again, I didn't have the confidence. I just didn't know. So fast forward to after high school, that's when everything kind of like fell into place.
Wow. And it's so exciting whenever I'm like out and I go to a fashion show that has both female and male attire, and I didn't know Ailton was in the show, and then all of a sudden I just see him walking by.
Like I know him.
It's amazing.
That's
So
funny.
what keeps you in character also when you are doing that?
That's a good question. Let's see. I would say just a lot of practice, because you put in 10,000 hours of whatever you love, and I've been doing this since I was 18. I'm 24 now. Just constant fashion shows, just repetitive, just the repetition keeps me like focused and in there. Because I set the bar so high for myself, so I know one day I want to get into GQ or walk in Paris or anything next level. So I know like for me to get to that next level, I have to pretend or act like I'm there right now.
And I want to mention that you're not just a model. You're actually a signed model with an agency. So how is that a little bit different than just being a model? Because I know there's a lot of wonderful, beautiful models out there, but there is really a difference between being a model and being a signed model.
Yeah, that's a good question. So the number one big difference is professionalism. So it's great when it's a hobby, it's really fun, but when you start getting paid for it, or when people start to expect you to do specific things or help bring their vision to life, it's a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think it's just show up, look cute, take a picture, but at the same time you're working on someone's craft, or if it's a designer or if it's a fashion
You're representing
show,
them.
Exactly. So the big difference is just professionalism, listening, taking direction very well. Like, just have to understand if this is the route they want you to walk, that's the route they want you to walk.
Absolutely.
They put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into their craft or their projects, so don't be the person.
Into their brand.
Into their brand, exactly. Don't be the model or that person to really like mess it up.
Yeah.
So that's one big thing. I would say, the gigs, the opportunities are a lot more fun. I feel like you spend so much time when you're a freelance model just networking, meeting the same people, which isn't a bad thing. But once you get signed and get into a whole new world, it's like, okay, I get to meet new people, do new things, see new faces. So it's always a good thing.
Now, you had mentioned that modeling isn't the only thing you do. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to, I'm going to have a little moment really quick. I work with models out there also. So if anyone's interested in becoming a model, please feel free to email me, bossLadyNews@gmail.com. But as a model, it's very important that you do represent the brand that you are modeling for.
Absolutely.
And I hate to say it like this, but as a model, you have to just shut up and do what you're told to do.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of people take, the what's the word, the mainstream idea of it, and it's like, just show up and look cute, take that picture. But it's a little bit more, because like I was saying before, each artist or each designer has their own brand and their own vision or their own mission. So, you know, you can't look up and be too flirty if that's not the direction of their brand, or, you know,
So
vice
it's
versa.
always good to know how to, you know, stomp the runway
Exactly.
and get that, but there's also like this professional, straightforward.
You gotta know when to turn it off and turn it on.
Absolutely.
You know? So.
Now, there's other things that you do. What are some of those other things?
So I want to start with, oh my gosh, there's so much. I would say the business side of me, I guess, because, you know, the modeling is fun. I love it. You know, that's what I love to do. And, you know, eventually in a few years, I want to have my own art center to kind of help, you know, reinforce that into the schools and into the community.
Yes.
But
because it's also about how you dress yourself.
exactly, exactly. So me and a few friends of mine, we put together a men's lifestyle group called Debonair Gentlemen. And basically it's focused on men's fashion and menswear just to help, you know, bring back etiquette, bring back the classic man. You guys know the song?
Yes.
So, you know, we focus on styling, interview tips, just all around the classic guy.
Yes.
So.
And I've been to one of the Debonair Men events, inspiring and educational, because you all also showed people how they could wear the pieces, and you showed them, you told them where they can find some of these pieces, the looks for less, and you kind of explained why these pieces work all together into, you know, working with someone else's style. So are you also doing styling for different people?
Yeah, that's that's something we're really trying to break into, and it's important because the average guy, excuse me, I feel like, you know, a lot of guys don't know how to, you know, go shopping and find the right outfit and put everything together. But, you know, there's a few that do and they're lost, or they just need some help. So that's where we come into play. Because one of my business partners, Schneider, he says this all the time: style is a gift, you know?
Absolutely.
Not everyone has that gift. So if you're blessed with it, why not, you know, give it to other people or share what you know?
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do, just
And
to help.
it's so incredible that you all are willing to do this and interested in doing this, because so little information do we share amongst our community, and even state to state now. I'm starting to get connected with people out in Miami and people out in Chicago, and so little information is shared amongst ourselves. Once we get something, it's like, it's mine, I'm not sharing this. And that's learned behavior, but we got to get you into like the high schools and stuff. Teachers, if you need someone to come in and speak with your young men, if you need someone to help out with interview styling and how to be professional, make sure you get in touch with him.
That's what we're working on next. We have a whole program we're putting together, from, you know, college interviews, internships, jobs, and what to wear to each one of these events.
Wow.
Because you want to make that good impression.
We're going to cut to a brief PSA, and when we come back, we're going to talk with you a little bit more about a few of the other things that you're doing, because I see you on Instagram posting something else too.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
If you store your guns properly,
So not just anyone can get to them.
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories or scary news reports.
I won't have to hold someone's hand and shout you're gonna make it.
And I won't have to tell my kids this isn't a drill.
Please,
Please,
please, please,
Please.
do it for us.
for us. Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. You know you can catch me every Friday at 6 p.m. Also, feel free to go to the website or YouTube. Everything is Boss Lady News. Very simple. We are here still with Ailton, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about some of the other ventures that he's also working on.
Yeah, so outside of, you know, the modeling and the business, I'm really big into financial wellness, because at the end of the day, no matter what dreams, goals, aspirations we have, we need time and money to get there.
Absolutely.
So I'm big on, you know, you need to figure out how to budget. How do I save up, or how much should I save up? What are the proper, you know, do's and don'ts to that? And a lot of people don't know, which is crazy.
What's a tip that you would give people for even beginning to save?
Okay. You have to be selfish. Like, a lot of people think that's a bad thing, but what I mean is pay yourself first.
Yes.
Every check, you have to put something away for yourself, whether it's a saving or a project. Literally, like they say, the average American has less than $500 in a savings account, which is scary because, you know, for that rainy day, you never know if, you know, you lose your job or whatever happens, you know? You just gotta have that rainy day fund. So first and foremost, always pay yourself, you know, 10% of every check, put that away, save it. And the next thing would be find a way to increase cash flow. You need to have, you know, multiple streams, if not many, coming in.
I agree
with that. That
with
really is gonna help, yeah.
Well, besides Boss Lady News, the small business that I do is image consulting and branding, and I help people build their brand, and I'm able to utilize this platform. And what I've noticed is people are very interested in having their own businesses. They say that there's a decrease in job hiring, but what they're not saying is there's an increase in entrepreneurialism. And capital and savings and having that rainy day fund is what will really push your business that you're either hobbying, because I like to say that, you know, if you have a second job and you're doing something else, so if you're working for someone and trying to work for yourself, it's really a hobby. When you give up working for someone else and you actually start working for yourself 100%, you've gone into your career. And that rainy day fund is so important at that point.
And then it's not a job anymore, it's fun. You know?
Absolutely, because you're doing what you like.
Exactly, exactly. And you know, that's been my journey. Last year was when I jumped in full force. I quit my full-time job.
Congratulations.
And, yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
It's been great. It's been scary, but it's been great. You know, prior to that, it was just, you know, preparation, because I knew I didn't want to stay there for a while. I knew that wasn't where I wanted to be. So, you know, I took the necessary steps, saved up some money, put all my ducks in a row, and just walked out.
Wow.
So,
and such a young man. That's incredible. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Absolutely. So what would you say to any of the other young people out there that maybe want to model or they want to be speakers, because maybe they sit down with their friends and they always give them some really good advice, or young people younger than you even that are really getting into finance and how to budget and how to work money?
Okay. First thing I would say is you got to have a plan. That's, you know, it's the easiest thing to do, but it's the easiest thing not to do. And a lot of people think like, oh, I have this plan in my head. Write it down. It's a lot easier if you write it down and like have a checklist or, you know, a set of goals. How much do I want to save? And be real specific with it. You know, $1,238, like to the T. Like, write it down and figure out how you'll get there. A lot of people, you know, they set a goal, but they don't take the steps necessary to do it. So that's the first thing I would say. Get out of your comfort zone. That's another thing. You really have to step out and really try something new, because if you know, you keep doing the same old, you're going to get the same old results. That's a really big...
Insanity.
Yeah, that's a really big quote, and I try to live by that, because, you know, it's awkward at first, but the more and more you do it, it gets easier and easier.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. You know, at first, the modeling thing, it was hard. You know, I got on a stage, there's lights everywhere, people watching you, and it's like, oh, do I really want to do this? But, you know, the second and the third time, the fourth time, it gets a lot easier. So,
wow. Let everyone know how they can find you on social media, how they could potentially reach out to you, whether it's for another fashion show or if it's for debonair men coming out to a program to work with some young people or college students or men, or if people want to find out more about financial tips.
Cool. So my social media, Facebook, it's my full name, Ailton Carvalho, Ailton Carvalho. And my Twitter, Instagram, everything is at Mr. Ailton C. So it's MrAiltonC. And you guys can always email me. Email's cool. My email is winwithac@gmail.com.
I like it.
We can win together. So.
Thank you for coming on to Boss Lady News. I'm definitely going to have you come on again, maybe to do a little something, styling, to teach some of the young people to introduce that idea to the schools and programs. We're going to cut to a brief PSA, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about a little bit more financial education with Miss Marie Firmin. We'll be right back. PSA. I said we were going to have Taylor back on. We always get into conversations so quickly. I wanted to make sure that you all got a chance to hear what we were talking about. What were the topics, or this topic we were just discussing?
That we were just discussing? Politics? Oh, the NASCAR.
NASCAR.
Okay, so NASCAR has their first African-American woman.
Wow.
Yes, who owns a sports team. This is the first. It's 2016. So our foot is in the game. She is looking for women drivers. I had the pleasure, like she's so dope. I had the pleasure of interviewing her. Her name is Melissa LeBron. You can contact her, email her, Google her, Melissa LeBron. She's all over Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. She's looking for female drivers. I know you have a lead foot, Brit.
I do.
know you have a lead foot.
I always talk about my trip to Puerto Rico, because in Puerto Rico they have the hills, and it's like a two-way street, but it's only one amount of space.
I like
Lord,
life.
oh, did I enjoy myself going up and down those mountains in Puerto Rico?
No.
Yes, I got a lead foot.
I enjoy my life.
And what an interesting industry
it is
for a female
expensive
to be a part of, and a female of color to really dive in and put money into it and put effort into it and keep going with it to the point where now she's so well known.
Yes. So she has 6 children, and 2 of her boys are actually drivers.
Oh, wow.
For her, yeah, absolutely. And I can't tell you, I'm not going to spoil it, because she's just awesome to listen to, her background, her story, everything about her, but to be the first African-American female to own a NASCAR team. I feel proud. I feel like
amazing
living through her.
Absolutely. So we've got to make sure we go to one of the races.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the plan. Anybody out there that wants to sponsor Boss Lady News and Taylor Andre going to a NASCAR race competition?
Yes.
I'm here. Just hit me up. Email bossLadyNews@gmail.com.
And it's a lifestyle.
Yes.
It's a complete lifestyle. People go out there with campers. People go out there to sleep in tents and barbecue, and they're there for the entire weekend. So it's not a game, Brit. If you're down, you got to be there for the whole weekend.
Oh, I'm down. I'm down. I'll take the girls. They would love it.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Inspector Tech will be there too, so he'll make sure that everything is streaming live for you all. I got you.
That'll be fun.
Yes. What else is going on?
In other news, okay, so this is somber. I don't like sad things, but there was a gentleman out of New Hampshire who won a case because he's homeless, a panhandler, and won a case against the police.
Okay.
It wasn't that much money. It wasn't that much money, but he won about $13,000 from 2 different towns that jailed him for panhandling. Afterwards, he was arrested again, but found unconscious in his cell. They worked on him for 12 minutes and then pronounced him dead. I'm wondering when they walked in that cell if he was unconscious or if he was already dead. So it's so difficult, and it angers me because the next story, there is a state trooper out of Alabama, Greenville, Alabama, that raped an accident victim. So she picked up the phone and was in an accident and called and asked for help. A police officer came out to help her, raped her, and the language that he used, you can find the story on Taylor Andre. The story in the language that he used is ridiculous. He only served 6 months in jail, and he gets to at his own discretion. So 6 months from now until April 2017, he has to serve 6 months.
Oh, so it's not like...
He is. They gave him a date, March 12th he had to show up, but yeah, he gets
at his discretion.
At his discretion.
He gets 6 months. That's crazy because I always talk to you all or talk to random people about jury duty. And actually, I'm going to bring up 2 quick things. You guys need to start doing jury duty. I know it's hectic. I know it will jar your total schedule, especially if it's the grand jury. But there are so few people of color that are actually American that are doing jury duty. And the issue with that is a lot of people don't or choose not to ask questions during jury duty. However, your objective is to ask questions because you are the only person who's going to be asking questions that the defense would be asking because it's only the prosecution that comes in and presents the case to the jury.
You better preach, baby.
The defendants don't get a chance to actually come in and prove their case. So please do jury duty. Coincidentally, you might run into a few people. You can always excuse yourself, but it's very important that we are starting to take more interest in politics. And in reference to this panhandler, older gentleman, younger gentleman?
Younger
Gentleman. Yeah. I think it's time, since we're already doing cameras on the cars, the cameras on cops is still up in the air in most places, but there needs to be cameras inside of the jail cells. I don't understand why there can't be.
I thought they already were.
Especially with the Sandra Bland case, which was so unfortunate, but they found a 6-foot-tall woman hung from her jail cell with a plastic bag. And there's no evidence to her doing it herself or to someone else doing something to her, because many of the pictures that they were showing of Sandra Bland and her mugshot, people were saying she already looked like she was dead. So there needs to be more visuals, and of course this will protect the police force as well as protecting any of the incarcerated or victims that might be held inside of a jail cell just because maybe they don't want to be in the office, immediate office, near a police officer. And police officers, they're good ones, absolutely. My grandmother was a cop, and there are bad ones. And I feel like now it's becoming apparent and clear that these bad ones are making it very difficult for the good ones. With that being said, we are going to cut to a brief PSA, and when we come back, you all will get a chance to meet Miss Marie Firmin. She's going to tell us about Cooperative Bank and her program that she's essentially started. We'll be right back.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork, loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look, your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late...
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new.
Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened?
Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi.
You mean you were driving?
Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
I hope you all are enjoying the show. I know I am. There's always some wonderful people out there, and it's so crazy that like I might have lived around you, but we never got a chance to meet. Make sure you email me, bossLadyNews@gmail.com. don't just email me about events. I'd like to find out more about the actual people, not just networking events, not just going to meet people, but I want to find out about the person, not just the event. So with no further ado, we're having back on Miss Marie Firmin. How are you? I want that necklace you have on. Gonna have you go ahead and take a seat. I love this. Is this one of the pieces Miss Paula brought back?
No, this doesn't come from Miss Paula.
No? Okay. I love that though. Thank you. So some people are new to you and they don't know a lot about you, but everything I know about you is about encouraging and supporting people to really learn about capital and what they need to gain capital so that they can do some of those things that they want to do. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my background is education. I was a Boston Public School teacher. I taught the main subject that I taught many things, but the main subject was entrepreneurship training to high school students at Madison Park High School. And during those years that I taught, I realized that this class was very important to the students. And I had students that were high risk and often in and out of jail. They always would come back to my class to find out if they could take it again.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship was really, really big during the time that I taught entrepreneurship because of the hip-hop industry.
Absolutely.
And our youth thought, well, this may be a way for us to get out of our situation and do something that's legal as opposed to doing something that's illegal that really covers the same skills as entrepreneurship in the legal world.
And I'm so glad you said that because that's absolutely true. If you know how to sell, you know how to sell.
Right.
If you know how to make or create or take something and turn it into something else, you know how to do that.
And not only that, you know how to hire the people who could do the job that you needed to get done.
Absolutely.
So, you know, many of these young people were setting up businesses in the street in the same way that corporations set up businesses.
Absolutely.
So I, you know, love teaching entrepreneurship because I was really facilitating the students and developing their ideas of business. And they were writing business plans at, you know, at a certain level that included their family members, their friends, their gang members.
Yes.
And they had great hope. But unfortunately, back then, the school system was not interested in entrepreneurship, much more interested in MCAS, even though I told them that we can incorporate the skills, the standards within the program.
And that's definitely an issue that's still going on today, whether it's MCAS, SATs, this new program called SNAP. It's the testing that the schools are focused on, but not so much the skills that are life skills that are needed for these students.
Exactly. You hit the head on the nail on the head when you said life skills, because that's what we really need to be teaching. And those
you've got a
realistic life
that.
skills. Well, you know, I set out to do something with entrepreneurship. I didn't know exactly what, but I went into it myself. I wanted to find out more about business. So I became a property manager, and then I went on to work in real estate.
Wow.
And that's when the foreclosures were happening.
Wow.
And
before you go any further, we're going to take a quick PSA. And when we come back, we want to discuss more of that. Okay? We'll be right back, you all. Make sure you stay tuned to Boss Lady News.
So good to see you guys.
So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. We are here with Miss Marie Firmin, and we're going to, you were just talking about how you had set out to create a program.
Yes. You know, I set out to create a program that works for our students, for the students that are in school, for the students that are out of school, for ordinary people. An entrepreneurship program that incorporated all of the skills and all of the emotional, social, intellectual development skills and financial development skills that are needed to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
And so that program is the Entrepreneurship Apprenticeship Practicum Program. And it has 5 different modules: personal development, oratory, forum, civic leadership, technology, green energy, because we don't want businesses, I mean, we have enough hairdressing businesses.
Absolutely. And we need to diversify what we're doing.
We want to get into the sciences. Our children love science. We want to get into green energy. There are business opportunities there. And so that's one of the components, as well as business communications, marketing, business plan development, and business application.
Okay.
Along with a real practicum in business. So the practicum is 50% of the curriculum.
Wow.
People are actually going to be marketing and advertising products and services that exist in the community for referral fees.
Oh, nice.
So we call it referral marketing, and
Nice.
it's a 6-month intern. It's like apprenticeship. It's like doing a project.
Absolutely.
And having a
It's
result
learning.
of money.
Yeah, it's learning once again.
And then sharing knowledge about programs and services that are in the community, including what Elegant Living Home Investors Club offers.
Absolutely. And it's so important that we learn how to do these things and that we learn about these things, because people are entrepreneurs, like I was kind of saying with Ailton earlier. They're entrepreneurs, but they're working for someone else also. So they're not actually doing the full existence of being an entrepreneur. And that's because we don't know. We haven't had a chance to learn how to be an entrepreneur. It's not in school, and if you naturally have it, sometimes you're doing something illegal with it. But that program of learning how to be an entrepreneur doesn't exist until you go into college and it's something that you're actually choosing.
Yeah, most entrepreneurship programs teach you how to think about your own idea, but they don't teach you marketing. Marketing is 90% of doing business.
Absolutely.
If you can't go speak to people, if you don't know how to dress, just like Ailton said, if you don't know how to dress, if you don't know what you are trying to achieve, you haven't made a vision statement. If you haven't collaborated with other people,
which is very important.
You don't just learn that. I mean, automatically. That's why most of our businesses is standing by themselves. They're subjugated, and therefore, this is my business, and I don't want anyone to.
It's mine.
Yeah, it's mine.
Yeah,
and I'm holding on to it.
It's my thing.
You know, and we're not communicating with each other, and sharing, and we're not doing anything together to cause money to
Absolutely,
happen.
to build that capital.
To build that
I swear to
capital.
God, guys, she's always talking about we need capital.
We need
She's
capital
right.
for our businesses. That's the number one reason that our businesses fail, because of lack of knowledge, because of lack of capital. We don't own houses.
Which is value.
Home
The
ownership
banks
is
will-
capital. You know? And when we do own houses, you know, most of us are in debt for student loans and for mortgages, and everything is a mortgage. The dentist is a mortgage. And my teeth fixed, the dentist is a mortgage. You know, so we need capital, and we need to develop it separately from our businesses. I mean, and develop capital in our businesses too. But most of our businesses are cash flow generators. We get some cash, we put it back into the business. We get some cash, we put it back into the business, you know? And really,
And even for myself, I just wanted to say that I did not understand before knowing you and getting a chance to talk with you and finding out about your program. I didn't know what that meant, and that means you're working for someone else, you're taking that money and you're funding your business with that.
Exactly.
So you're not making money off of your entrepreneurial dream, you're making money off the people who are paying you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, everybody, when you are an entrepreneur, you do have to work for other people. Because, you know, that's
Because
where you're
they're
going
your
to get your
clients.
money. They're your clients.
Exactly, they're your
You know?
clients, though.
But
Before we go, I want to let people know how they can get in touch with you, so that they can schedule a workshop with you, or so that they can schedule, you know, finding out more and getting into your program.
I'm doing a very intimate workshop on Sundays at 11 o'clock. And if you are interested, you have a business idea, we've been talking about business plan development and writing a 3-page business plan. And thinking about it, think about how to write it with the vision statement, etc. And that's Sunday at 11 o'clock. My phone number is 617-803-0937.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just want to make sure I got that out there. And we're going to maybe go for like another 4 minutes. And I wanted you to tell us a little bit about the community banking that the Susu Bank that you've discussed with me before.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you know about Isusus or Susus. Some programs, there are a couple of nonprofit programs who are calling it circles. Well, it's a
In Spanish,
strategy.
it's La Sociedad.
Yes.
You guys, I know a few people out there in East Boston and Revere and in Malden that do La Sociedad. That's exactly what this is.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a way of generating capital, a way of coming together, you know, just to do that, so that you can fund your businesses, you can fund your education, you can fund the things that you need to fund. However, ours is a little different than the way that most people run it, because we are asking people to open up their own business bank account. If you
Which,
are
if you're
a
an
business,
entrepreneur,
you need a business
you need
bank
a business
account.
bank account.
And a
Stop running it through your
relationship-
personal one.
And a relationship with a banker. You need that. And so we ask that people, you know, open up a business bank account and let that, well, really it's a business investment account, but we want to try to come up with a new kind of an account that only can be used for your college debt and your home ownership.
Nice.
And it can't be used for anything else. And we want to show people how to feed that account separately from feeding your family and paying your rent or paying for your mortgage. As a separate entity that operates for you, along with a whole bunch of other people who are operating that entity. So basically, Susu Bank is our way of getting people to think outside of the box, that
of regular banking,
regular banking even.
Yeah.
You know, we would have to, you know, lobby to get this particular account, and there are accounts that are similar, but we want this special account to be something that people recognize, that their children from 14 years or up could set up, and it's to build capital. It's not to save money. So we're not asking you to save your money, the little money that you do get, save it, you know, put it in this account. We want you to build it. We want you to change your financial status and become part of the middle class.
Absolutely.
Or get your business to start to make millions. We got to think there.
Yes, millionaires.
Because we got to think as millionaires. And in order to do that, those are the kinds of things that we want to set up.
And that we can, that your program can provide. So people, please make sure.
The training to do that.
Yes. People, please make sure that you do reach out to Miss Marie Firmin, because she can definitely give you a lot of entrepreneurialism, training, program, education. Find out more about the Susu Bank. And what I love about the Susu Bank is it is different from the corporate entity banks that we're already used to, and that we already feed money into, and that we already get fees from as we feed money into the banking system.
Could I say something right here? It's not a bank, really. We are not a bank, so we want to disclaim anything about being a bank. But it is a banking strategy. So it's a Susu banking strategy.
Gotcha.
So I just wanted to get the terminology kind of straight, because I don't want to get sued.
Absolutely. And I want to make sure that I'm bringing onto the stage people that are able to fulfill any questions that you all may have. Please make sure you email me, bossLadyNews@gmail.com. I feel like the banking system in general is a topic that if anyone's out there that's a banker that would like to explain more about that to us, please feel free to reach out to me. And anyone who is an entrepreneur and wants to find out more, please feel free to reach out to me, but also reach out to Miss Marie Firmin. So thank you for coming on to the show.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you for having me, Miss Boss Lady.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. I hope you all enjoyed the show. We got a chance today to, as usual, speak with Taylor Andre from Big City 101.3. We got a chance to speak with Ailton Carvalho, and he's amazing, especially with the Debonair Men workshop that's available. Also, we got to speak with Miss Marie Firmin. Please make sure you call her if you're an entrepreneur. Find out what are some of the strategic steps that you need to take. I hope you had a great day. I know I did. I'll see you all next time.